If you are an earth lover, animal lover, knowledge lover, birds lover, in short, any kind of nature lover, this channel is for you. Let's get knowledge about our love. Before that, show some love and subscribe to my channel, if you haven't already. Birds are some of the most colorful animals on earth, with a palette of rainbow tones to feast your eyes on. Here are our picks for some of our most flamboyant feathered friends. Nature produces some truly extravagant costumes, and birds have evolved more than their fair share of dazzling outfits. Often, it's the male birds that steal the show with bold colors and unfurling feathers, which they need to impress choosy females. But sometimes, both males and females are dressed to impress. You're probably familiar with the peacock, or peafowl, and its ornamental eye spots. But there are plenty of other birds with similarly over-the-top displays, including Wilson's bird of paradise, which unfurls an iridescent green cape around its neck to woo the ladies, and the resplendent quetzal, which plunges toward potential mates while trailing its metallic blue feathers. So, without further ado, here are 32 of the most colorful birds in the world. But wait, to move forward, can you count that? Or we actually talk about 32 birds because we are describing them without numbering, so tell us in comment that are they actually 32? The keel-billed toucan, Rhamphastos sulphuratus, also known as the rainbow-billed toucan, is a tropical bird with a range extending from southern Mexico to northern Colombia and northwestern Venezuela. Its plumage is mostly black, with a yellow throat and cheeks, light green eye patches and bright red feathers peeking out from under its tail. But the keel-billed toucan's real show-stopping characteristic is its multicolored bill, which makes up about 1/3 of the bird's 20-inch, 51 centimeters, length. Despite being oversized, the bill is hollow and therefore quite light, according to the American Bird Conservancy. Keel-billed toucans use it to gather food, including fruit, insects, lizards, tree frogs and eggs, which they toss into the air before gulping down. The bill's green, orange, blue and red hues also attract potential mates, and research suggests the whole appendage is laced with fine blood vessels that enable keel-billed toucans to regulate their body temperature. The splendid fairy wren, Malurus splendens, lives up to its name during the breeding season, when males develop magnificent, cobalt blue feathers and a sky blue crown and cheeks to impress females. These birds, which grow to 5 inches, 13 centimeters, long, live in dense shrublands or woodlands of acacia in parts of Australia. Like most fairy wrens, splendid fairy wrens feed mostly on insects, which they pick off the ground and out of shrubs. In September, males swap their pale brown and buff plumage for bold, electric blue shades and a black eye mask. They then begin their courtship display, which involves plucking pink and purple petals for potential mates. Meanwhile, females build domed nests of dry grass, scraps of bark and rootlets that are so small that the birds have to bend their tails during incubation. Also known as the rainbow finch, the Gouldian finch, Chloebia gouldiae, is a species of grass finch that comes in 3 color combinations, with a black, red or yellow face to complement its bright green back, turquoise neck, yellow belly and purple breast. Black is the most common facial color, found in 75% of Gouldian finches, with red-faced birds making up most of the remaining 25% and yellow-faced birds occurring rarely. Gouldian finches inhabit the edges of mangrove forests, thickets and savannas in northern Australia, where they feed on grass seeds and insects. These highly sociable birds usually gather around water in flocks numbering several hundreds of birds, as they need to drink several times a day. The Gouldian finch's bright colors have made it a target for illegal trapping. Together with habitat loss, predation, parasites and wildfires, the illegal bird trade has reduced the wild population to fewer than 2,500 birds. The fiery-throated hummingbird, Panterpe insignis, is a species of hummingbird found in the forested highlands of Costa Rica and western Panama. Its 4-inch long, 10 centimeters, body is covered in iridescent feathers, which fade from dark orange at the base of the throat to yellow and bluish-green on the belly and back, and to a shimmering royal blue on the breast and crown. Although males are slightly larger than females, both sexes look alike and sport a long, slender, black bill with a pink base that they use to feed on the nectar of small flowers, shrubs and trees. Male Indian peafowl, Pavo cristatus, more commonly known as peacocks, are famous for their iridescent blue feathers and eye-spot-covered tails that they spread out to woo females. Females are less flamboyant than males, with mottled brown plumage and a shorter tail lacking eye spots, although they sport iridescent green feathers on their throats. Indian peafowl are native to the Indian subcontinent, but they have been introduced to many other parts of the world, including North America, Europe, South Africa and Australia, as ornamental birds. In the wild, Indian peafowl live on the forest floor, where they forage for fruit, small reptiles, insects and rodents. The lilac-breasted roller, Corsius caudatus, gets its name from its acrobatic courtship display, which involves males repeatedly rising and plunging down with their wings tucked in to perform rolls while simultaneously shouting raucous calls. Lilac-breasted rollers grow 14.5 inches, 37 centimeters, tall, with both males and females sporting a lilac throat and breast, a turquoise belly, a green head, a reddish-orange face and royal blue tail tips. The species lives in grasslands and wooded areas across eastern and southern Africa, from Ethiopia and Angola to northern South Africa. The birds sit on dead trees to survey their surroundings for prey, including grasshoppers, beetles, lizards, frogs and crabs. They are known to pick off animals that are fleeing from bushfires and to invade the nests of other birds, including kingfishers and woodpeckers. Wilson's bird of paradise, Diphyllodes respublica, is named after British ornithologist Edward Wilson, who donated a specimen discovered in 1850 in Indonesia to the Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia. The male bird is the size of a sparrow and boasts bright red plumage on its back, a yellow patch on the top of its neck and a featherless crown, revealing electric blue skin beneath. Wilson's bird of paradise also has two distinctive, sickle-shaped tail feathers. The bird is so elusive that it took scientists 150 years to document its courtship display, during which the male unfurls his neck feathers to reveal an iridescent green cape. Females judge potential mates by the brightness of their feathers, but they themselves have olive-brown, mottled plumage. Like the males, females have a bald patch on the top of the head and blue skin. The red-necked tanager, Tangara cyanocephala, is a tropical bird found in lowland forests in eastern Brazil, Argentina and Paraguay. Its plumage is mostly light green, with a distinctive scarlet nape and cheeks, a light purple crown and a blue throat. Red-necked tanagers feed at the top of fruiting trees, but they occasionally drop to the forest floor to pluck berries off shrubs. They live up to 5 years. The resplendent quetzal, Pharamacris mosino, is a stunning, turquoise, green and red bird that lives in the cloud forests stretching from southern Mexico to western Panama. Males sport a golden green crest and metallic blue tail feathers that grow during the breeding season to form a flowing train up to 3 feet, 0.9 meter, long. They show off this train by rising above the canopy and plunging down toward potential mates, with their feathers rippling behind them. The resplendent quetzal was considered sacred by Mesoamerican civilizations and remains an important symbol today, with the bird featured on Guatemala's flag. According to legend, the resplendent quetzal was the spirit guide of a Maya prince and hero called Toucan, who died fighting the Spanish conquest. As Toucan lay wounded, a resplendent quetzal landed on his chest and stained its feathers with blood, accounting for the bird's red breast and belly. The spangled cotinga, Cotinga caiana, is a tropical bird that lives in the forests and jungles of northern South America, including in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. Males have striking light blue feathers on their breast and belly, bluish-black wings and a magenta throat. These attributes help them attract females, which have a much duller brown plumage. Spangled cotingas, which grow to between 7 and 9 inches, 18 to 23 centimeters, long, are often seen perching on fruiting trees, although their diet also includes protein-rich insects during the breeding season. As with many other birds, it's the male Mandarin duck, X. galericulata, with standout colors. Male Mandarin ducks have distinctive orange cheeks and sails on their backs, as well as a purple chest and royal blue and green feathers in their crown and tail. Females have creamy white and mottled brown plumage and a gray head and cheek feathers that fluff up like the males. Adults of both sexes reach between 8 and 10 inches, 20 to 25 centimeters, long, with females growing slightly plumper than males. Mandarin ducks are native to the Far East, including China, Japan, Korea and parts of Russia. The species was introduced to the UK in the 20th century, and populations also exist in parts of the United States, where the ducks are thought to have escaped from captivity. Despite its name, the crimson rosella, Platycercus elegans, comes in several shades, including red, orange and yellow. Juveniles have olive-green feathers that transition to one of the other colors when the birds mature. Regardless of their makeup, crimson rosellas have distinctive blue patches on their cheeks, blue tail feathers and wings with black dots. Crimson rosellas are found mostly in southern and eastern Australia, with a few populations scattered across the rest of the country, as well as on Norfolk Island and in New Zealand. They normally hang out in small flocks and feed on seeds, grasses, shrubs, insects and some tree blossoms. The birds produce a range of calls, including some that sound like harsh screeches and metallic whistles. The common kingfisher, Alcedo at this, is a bright blue and orange feathered bird that's widely distributed across Europe, Asia and North Africa. It's a rather shy and inconspicuous bird with a long, pointed bill, which it uses to pluck small fish out of slow-moving and still water. These birds often perch in trees along rivers and streams, diving low above the water when they spot a potential meal. I hope you liked the video and already subscribed to my channel. If still didn't press the subscribe button, please do, and hit the like button and comment. Are we really told about 32 colorful birds? Thanks for watching.